every time you watch a video online, there's a good chance you're using an M3U8 file without even knowing it. It's kind of like the hidden grain that makes modern streaming work. So think of it this way. If your video is a bunch of little data packages, the M3U8 file is the shipping manifest. It tells the video player exactly which package to open, in what order, and at what quality. Let's dive in. So here's what we're going to cover. We'll break down what an M308 file actually is, how it powers adaptive streaming, how these playlists get made and secured, what to do when things go wrong, and finally, why using a professional streaming platform is just a total game changer.
All right, first up, let's look at the master blueprint for your stream. What exactly is this thing?
At its heart, an M3U8 file is really just a simple text file. That's it. But its real power comes from its encoding, UTF-8. Now that might sound technical, but all it means is that it's a universal standard. It ensures your video will play reliably, whether you're watching on your phone, a laptop, or a smart TV. And that universal compatibility, that's exactly why it's the backbone of modern streaming.
And you can really see the key difference right here. The older M3U format, well, it was kind of the Wild West. It used all sorts of different character encodings, which meant you'd often get errors or videos that just wouldn't play on certain devices. M3U8 came along and fixed all that by enforcing one single standard, UTF-8. And that one simple change brought the reliability we absolutely need for global streaming today.
Okay, so how does this simple little text file create that seamless, buffer-free experience we all just expect now? Let's take a look.
The real magic of HLS streaming is that it doesn't try to send you one giant video file all at once. Nope. Instead, it breaks the video up into small, manageable chunks. The M3U8 playlist is the instruction manual, telling the player the exact sequence of chunks to download and play, one after the other, for a perfectly smooth experience.
And this slide, this perfectly illustrates adaptive streaming. So your player first grabs the master M3U8 playlist. That playlist says, hey, I've got this stream in 1080p, 720p, and 480p. The player then takes a quick look at your internet speed and picks the best option for you. And here's the cool part. If your connection suddenly slows down, the player just refers back to that M3U8 and seamlessly switches to a lower quality stream. No buffering, it's all orchestrated by that little playlist.
Now, it's really important to know there are actually two types of playlists working together here. You've got the master playlist. Think of that as the main menu, listing all the different quality options. Once the player picks a quality, it gets sent to a specific media playlist, and that is the step-by-step map of video chunks for that one single stream. So we know what they are, we know how they work, but how are these critical files actually made? And maybe just as important, how do we keep them secure? Look, you could technically write an M3U8 file by hand in a text editor, but it's super easy to make a mistake. That's why professional workflows rely on automation. A platform like Dacast generates these playlists perfectly, every single time, right during the encoding process. It builds them to support adaptive streaming from the get-go. And security is absolutely critical. A professional platform doesn't just host your video, it protects it with multiple layers. We're talking about securing the playlist itself with things like token-based access and geo-restrictions, but also protecting the video chunks with powerful AES-128 encryption, and even integrating serious digital rights management, or DRM, for that premium content. Of course, even with the best systems in the world, things can sometimes go wrong. So let's quickly look at how to figure out some of the common problems that can mess up your playback. This table is basically your troubleshooting cheat sheet. If you see a 404 not found error, it's usually just a broken link in your playlist. Simple. A CORS error sounds technical, but it's really just a security setting on your server blocking a request. And if the playback is stalling or you get encoding errors, that almost always points right back to the playlist file itself, like segments having different durations, or, you guessed it, the file not being saved in that crucial UTF-8 format. So, with all these technical details and potential pitfalls, it really leads to a fundamental question. What's the best way to manage this whole streaming workflow? And that's a totally fair question. If an M3U8 is just a text file, why does the platform you use matter so much? Well, this right here is the core difference between basic video hosting and a true professional streaming platform. Honestly, the difference is huge. A professional platform like Dacast handles all of this complexity for you. It automates the technical stuff, generating perfect M3U8 files, encoding for adaptive streaming. It provides rock-solid security and a stable global CDN for reliable delivery. And then it adds all the essential business layers, real-time analytics, monetization tools, and, this one is crucial,
24/7 human support for when you need help. It's the whole ecosystem, not just a place to dump a file.
So at the end of the day, it all comes back to this. While the M3U8 file itself might seem simple, mastering the workflow around it is the absolute key to a professional, reliable stream. So if you need secure, scalable streaming that just works for a global audience, the takeaway is crystal clear. You need a professional video platform that manages all this complexity for you.